Happy Monday. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. So Microstrategy is down slightly in the red today, but nothing too crazy. Definitely not as exciting as I thought this day would be. Microstrategy is down 4.7%. And MSTZ, which is the inverse ETF, I would not recommend this for beginners, especially not carrying the position overnight as it is leveraged. I do have a position, but again, my trade is not your trade. I'm up a little bit over $8,000, and I think I can get closer to $20,000 if my trade plan goes according to plan, which again, it definitely does not have to. I'm not here to convince you. I don't want to convince you, but I did share the idea with my LPP team. Overall market sentiment and direction, especially for Bitcoin and crypto, has been very negative. There's a ton of kind of like really big red flags that are currently presenting themselves. Two of the biggest bulls in crypto are just getting absolutely destroyed. Tom Lee with his Ethereum position is now down $6.6 billion, on track to become the 5th largest documented principal trading loss in history if sold. Then on top of that, you have Michael Saylor now moving some of his Bitcoin into Fidelity. Some people are saying because he's getting ready to sell. I really don't believe that conspiracy. I believe that it's more along the lines of he is probably looking for more insurance-based brokerages just in case something does end up happening. And then on top of that, Satoshi Arrow Whale has just sold all of his Bitcoin after 15 years of holding. He dumped 11,000 Bitcoins worth over $850 billion. This doesn't look good. That's for sure, right? And then on top of that, you have the creator of Ethereum saying, whatever his name is, warned that crypto could lose its purpose if speculation continues to dominate. My greatest fear is that if crypto becomes just speculation with no real application. He warns that if people only gamble, the industry will die. To avoid that, he says that we must build real value, true DAOs, DApp, and other real use, and open DeFi. So again, going back to the basics and actually having something of use. I don't believe in crypto. I've never liked it. I've never cared for it. I always just thought it was a speculative trading-based asset, and it's because of this. And it's at least cool to see that the creator of Ethereum is able to acknowledge of like, hey, this kind of has gotten ahead of itself. And now there is so much speculation that now it's almost overwhelming this marketplace, right? It's cool to talk about huge upswings, but then once you see 50 to 80% downturns, those people that experience those 50 to 80% losses within those bear markets are never going to want to invest in any of this crypto ever again, right? So it's like you can't want all of the good and then not be able to tolerate any of the bad, especially when it comes down to that. So the part that I'm really excited about is with the current setup on Bitcoin. It looks incredibly bearish. We're just about $2,500 away from Michael Saylor's average price of right around $76,000. And on top of that, I think it's impeccable timing. We have Microstrategy that is set to report earnings this week. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Thursday after the market opens. Normally, no one cares when MicroStrategy reports earnings, and the reason why is because, well, we all know that MicroStrategy loses money, right? The business itself loses over $500 million, I think it was. They started reporting their unrealized gains the previous quarters. And this time, they're going to have to report their unrealized losses of Q4 of 2025. So again, just adding fuel to the fire. And yeah, you can see that supposedly the revenue of this company is $474 million and supposedly has a net income of $7.9 billion. But those are all from unrealized gains. Now this should update on Thursday once they report earnings, and there's going to be a big ol' loss being reported, at least for the Q4 of 2025. So we'll see how markets react. Again, can that be enough to send MicroStrategy below $100 per share? I remember when I talked about MicroStrategy when it was trading at $500, and I said I would not be surprised if MicroStrategy dumps all the way back down to, $20 per share. And that's when it was at 500. I've been talking about MicroStrategy with my LPP team and on YouTube for years, right? No one cared to listen then. People thought that I just was a hater. I've always just looked at their data. I've looked into their fundamentals. I never believed in anything Michael Saylor stood for. That's cool that he has his opinion and his perspective. At the end of the day, I think that hype is great in the short term, fundamentals always matter in the long term. And I think that's what we're beginning to experience as of right now. Now, from the highs of $543, now we're at lows of 130, and I think that this can really take a leg of its own, and more downside can follow if Bitcoin continues to sell off. And with the idea of getting below the average price of 76,000, which is Michael Saylor's average purchase price, with the idea of MicroStrategy reporting earnings and a big ol' loss for Q4 of 2025, I think it can be the perfect formula to create more uncertainty. Now, does Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy have to sell their Bitcoin right now? No, not necessarily. I wouldn't say that they would be forced to sell until they have solvency or liquidity issues, and it doesn't seem like they will have that as of right now. With that being said, can things get worse for them before it gets better? That's the part that I'm really excited about, is everything looks incredibly bearish right now. We'll see if that sentiment continues. Again, that is my opinion, not yours. Please do not trade something just because I'm choosing to trade it. I am very familiar with MicroStrategy. I know how to manage and mitigate risk. If there's a V-shaped recovery because Trump sends out a tweet that sends, Bitcoin into new highs, that's always something that you have to take into consideration. I don't trade crypto, but Bitcoin itself and its price movement does influence MicroStrategy. So again, it is something that I'm gonna have to pay very close attention to. So as of right now, my current position on, I don't have one on MicroStrategy, sorry, on MSTZ, which is the inverse ETF, is right around $8,100. Again, I think I can get closer to 20,000. And again, I shared that trade plan and idea with my LPP team, who again gets to watch me trade live every single day. So you guys feel free to share your thoughts down in the comment section with all the negative sentiment, all the negative news that's going on with crypto. Do you think that can be enough to cause Bitcoin to sell off below $70,000 per coin? And how low, if it breaks below 70, do you think that we can go? Because again, the more that Bitcoin sells off, the more that MicroStrategy can continue to crash as well. And we are at this point closer to $100 per share than we are to $200 per share. And that is the part that's so exciting. People thought that it was like unrealistic when it was at $500 that it would ever drop to $250, yet alone sub $100 per share. And again, fast forward to today, it seems like we're right around the corner. Again, I've always talked about the data. I've always focused more on fundamentals, and I understand that it upsets a lot of people because I don't always believe in the hype. But guess what? There has been many times that things and assets have been incredibly hyped up and sustained themselves for a decent amount of time. Crypto and these speculative assets are kind of the weaker bunch, in my opinion, and that's why I believe they've been the easier target to short, and that's why I choose to short them. It's kind of like, again, why overcomplicate something or change something if you don't need to, right? If it's not broken. And that's exactly how I see MicroStrategy. It's been one of the easiest stocks to short as it's been selling off, and even while markets sit nearly at all-time highs for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. And that's the part that my LPP team loves the most, is that we keep our trading simple and we focus on the data and things that actually matter. So again, I hope to see you for our live trading session. If you ever want to tune on in, it's going to be the second link in the description down below. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.